Let's bring in Richard Davenport. Let's ask his opinion. Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. Barnes isn't despicable, is he, Richard? He kind of comes across as a guy that I wouldn't mind playing for, don't you?
I don't know where you get despicable. I've always heard really great things about the guy, and some of the stories that come out about him he just sounds like a super good guy to play for, and just a good guy overall.
Maybe Casey was more referring to the Vols and that orange that he hates so much, and not necessarily Rick Barnes. But we'll see if he takes us back
in later rounds of the tournament.
Yeah, we'll see if he gets back at us here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline where Richard finds himself. Artie, how's vacation, man? I know you were gone a little bit. What you do? What you see?
We just went to Hot Springs for a couple of days and came back, and I just did things around the house and just kind of chilled, stayed off the phone. That's the number one thing with this business is just not being on the phone, not having a laptop in your lap, for most of the day and evening.
Artie, I think I average about 7 or 8 hours on my phone every day, and I need to get that down. I'm curious, when you get those reports at the end of the week or end of the month, what does that look like?
What reports?
They send you, like, because I think you have an iPhone. Apple sends you, like, your daily usage, and mine is way too high. I'm on my phone for work and just scrolling on Twitter and Instagram Reels. I didn't know if you had ever seen how long you have to be on a phone for texting and calling and doing the on the computer stuff as well.
No, no, I don't get that because my phone's paid by the company, so I don't get to see that, unfortunately.
Richard, I do want to get to some football stuff. Fall camp underway. There's a few things that are worth discussing, but we just mentioned the basketball news with Arkansas hosting Tennessee Saturday, January 3rd. The other basketball news that it's been coming out these last few weeks is it's not really emergence because we already knew he was good, but how about J.J. Andrews continuing to climb recruiting charts? I've seen him on draft boards in 2027. I know he hasn't made his way to campus yet to Bud Walton Arena, but man, this kid seems like he's having quite a summer, isn't he?
Well, it really started last year. He was a 5-star by ESPN at one time. I mean, he led his team, the 16 and under Bradley Beal Elite, to the Peach Jam championship, and was getting all kinds of praise then. Obviously, had a very good high school season, being named Player of the Year and things of that nature. And then he continued it as far as the spring and going into the Peach Jam, and so he has just been solid, the last few years, and I think probably what's caught the attention of some of the analysts is outside game has improved a little bit. His 3-point shooting is improved, and then when you throw in these 6'7", 215, 220. And with the ability to shoot the three, to go along with what he can do mid range and getting to the basket, that just obviously opens up so many different areas of the game for him. So it's good to see because not only obviously is he a very, very good basketball player, but just a super, super good kid, very humble kid, and you love to see good things happen to Arkansas kids, but especially somebody like JJ.
Well, I don't think that Arkansas basketball is going to have recruiting issues under John Calipari, whether in-state with a kid like JJ or out-of-state with a kid like Darius Acuff or a kid like Malik Thomas. And Cal's already made waves since he's been in Fayetteville. But I know at times, Richard, football recruiting can be a struggle, not just for the head coach, but the support staff and the recruiting staff. And Pittman's first question asked of him at media days was by a friend of mine, Dave Shoemate, who asked him about like just the lesser, not just in-state talent, but the money that's spent on recruiting staff. And you really kind of detailed it out in your latest piece in Whole Hog Sports, just the differences of what Arkansas spends in recruiting versus every other school and maybe some schools that you consider lesser than you and what they spend.
Yeah, Arkansas is pretty much dead last in the SEC as far as staffing They tie with Vanderbilt with 5 people devoted to the recruiting staff, where everybody else, I wouldn't say all, but most, or a good number of SEC schools have double or triple the amount of recruiting personnel. Now Vanderbilt, as far as salaries, they don't disclose that or anything like that. But I was able to do some research through various sources, and Arkansas is dead last in salaries also. That basically last in staffing and salaries for recruiting. So, and you could probably get away with that if you're a Texas, Alabama, Florida, whoever that's you consider some top tier SEC schools. But if you're Arkansas, when you have a limited amount of in-state talent, and then you have the lesser recruiting staff, it puts you behind an 8 ball, so to speak. So and I did this because as some people on the message board have been asking about Arkansas's staffing versus not just recruiting, but staffing in general versus other SEC schools, and so I did the recruiting part, but also I haven't looked at a lot of SEC schools, but I just looked at Alabama and looked at how many analysts they have. Mm-hmm. They have 13 analysts. Arkansas has 1. The funding, the commitment for football from the administration is quite eye-opening, to be honest with you. And then obviously I threw in also the 2024 football salaries for the 10 assistant coaches, the salary pools for the 10 assistant coaches in the SEC. Arkansas was next to last to Mississippi State, and Ole Miss was outspending Arkansas, and Arkansas's salary pool for assistants were $6.1 million. Ole Miss 8.9. That was even though in 2022 USA Today reported Arkansas with $152 million in revenue versus $133 for Ole Miss.
And just to be clear, and Richard, I don't have the salaries in front of me. Like, it's not like Frank Broyles used to spend a ton of money. Like, I feel like he tried to get bargains when he could, and it wasn't like spending was just lavish. But I do wonder if you're hearing this, and I don't know what the basketball one is, but I'm going to guess that basketball is probably in the top 3, maybe number 1 in terms of spending, recruiting, coaching staff, all those different details and characteristics. Like, is it one of those things where they simply don't have the funds? Are they allocating it to different spots and not to football? Like, help us maybe unpack why Arkansas is so far behind in accordance to your piece against these other schools who they compete with year in, year out.
Yeah, well, I did reach out to the U of A to try to get a comment from Hunter Yurachek, but he declined to comment for whatever reason. He might have been very busy. Who knows? I don't know. But anyway, he declined comment. Do I know exactly why? No. I mean, why the lack of funding's there? The revenue, you look at Arkansas, at least in 2022, according to the USA Today, who did research on all the schools throughout the country, and Arkansas was 11th in the SEC in fund as far as revenue, and number 20 in the country in revenue. So you're talking about one of the top 20 schools as far as revenue, but still yet your football program is funded one of the worst in the SEC. So I don't have an answer to that.
And it's one that we have this discussion from time to time. Richard Davenport's our guest. You know him well. Whole Hog Sports, Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. It's like you look at every sport on this campus, RD, and softball. I mean, they're a player or two away from finally getting to Oklahoma City. Baseball, we've seen what they've done going to Omaha, and Dave's like 8 or 9 times, whatever it is. Basketball, I mean, this team could very well in the next 3 or 4 years win a national championship. They have that type of talent. They have that type of coaching staff. I know 2 years ago, Jason Watson really got the the volleyball team hunting. Colby Hale and the soccer team, top 10 heading into this season. I mean, there are all these different, not to mention the track and field program, which has all the national titles. There are so many sports on this campus that are having success, and I know we're still kind of waiting to deal with what the revenue looks like and everything else, but you just wonder if you're an Arkansas fan, it's like, why can't we have success as the same amount, I should say, as these other sports in football? And I know there's a lot of different variables, a lot of different things that have to happen, but I feel like that's the question fans ask themselves every single year, man.
Yeah, there is blame to go around for everyone, the coaching staff, everyone. But at the same time, and I'm not saying Arkansas, if the funding and the staffing for recruiting and other parts of the football program was increased, they would automatically start having top 10, top 15 recruiting classes or anything like that. But I think there's no doubt that it would help. There's several reasons why the lack of staffing can hurt a program. Like when you have 50, 60, 70 kids on campus for a football game. When you have limited staffing, especially with the top tier recruits, you're not able to spend as much time with those guys as maybe as other schools. Those kids are going to schools like Tennessee, Auburn, Alabama, others that have larger recruiting staffs and are able to spend a little bit more time and pay a little bit more attention to them. Stuff like that, kind of help, those other schools over, say, a school like Arkansas. Then you throw in the portal. I really think the portal's the area that really is a hindrance to Arkansas with the lack of staffing, because everything's so fast. When a kid gets into the portal, they're trying to reach out to them, trying to get as much information on them and make contact with them and try to say, hey, we'd like for you to visit. But Arkansas only of the 5 staff members on the recruiting staff at Arkansas, only 3 was involved in reaching out to the portal people, portal transfers. So I think that's an area where, because it's so intense for about a month, you have all these guys jumping into the portal, and you're trying to sort through all the ones that you may have interest in. But when you only have 3 versus, double or triple of that personnel that other schools have, it is a disadvantage.
Twice the best. Richard Davenport always bringing it here on Wednesdays at 10 o'clock. RD, good stuff as always, man. I don't know if this is going to get figured out anytime soon, but I appreciate you kind of giving some background and some insight on the recruiting side of things and some issues that Arkansas and Sam Pittman face with this football program.
Sounds good, buddy. Thanks so much for having me, Todd. Take care, guys.
It's been too long, man. I'm glad to have you back, and that's Richard Davenport, Hogs Sports Arkansas Democrat-Gazette, bringing it each and every day. Always love seeing that guy. Some of these, so RD, for, I guess we talked to him since I got here in 2018, but I didn't actually meet him, I guess, until like 21, maybe he was 19 or whatever. So it's cool when it's one thing to talk with guys on the phone. It's another thing to actually meet them. That's why I enjoy SEC Media Days so much. If you missed our open to the show in hour 2, Arkansas will be hosting the Tennessee Volunteers to start the SEC conference play this basketball season on January the 3rd. So it's a Saturday. I don't have a time for you,